You're in the middle of an intense gaming session. You're so close to that high score you can almost taste it. But then, all of a sudden, your ping spikes and you end up losing. Gamers, you already know how frustrating this is. But does a VPN actually help? Let me start by clearing something up. Most people hear the word VPN and immediately think of security and privacy. And yes, that's what VPNs are built for. But when it comes to gaming, there's a whole other side to this that doesn't get talked about enough. A good VPN can actually reroute your connection to give you a faster and more stable path to the game server. It can stop your internet provider from throttling your connection when you're gaming too much, which is something ISPs actually do. It can protect you from DDoS attacks, which are a real problem in competitive gaming. And it can open up region-locked servers so you can play with friends in other countries or get early access to games that haven't been released in your region yet. But here's the thing. A VPN is not going to magically drop your ping. What it does is stabilize it. If you're dealing with lag spikes that shoot up to 200 or 300 out of nowhere and then come back down, a VPN can smooth that out by giving you a more consistent and direct route to the server. Instead of your connection bouncing around through your ISP's infrastructure, it goes through the VPN server and straight to the game server. The result isn't always lower ping, but it's almost always more stable ping. And in competitive gaming, stability usually matters more than raw numbers. Now, there's one thing that makes a bigger difference to your ping than anything else when using a VPN for gaming, and that's server proximity. The closer the VPN server is to the game server, the better your results are going to be. So if you're playing on European servers, you want to connect to a VPN server somewhere in Europe. If you're on US servers, connect to a US server. The moment you start connecting to servers on the other side of the world, you're adding distance to your connection and your ping is going to increase. This is the single most important thing to get right, and it's the thing most people overlook. Now let me talk about free VPNs for gaming, because I know a lot of people go looking for this first. Some free VPNs can work for gaming, but they come with a bunch of problems. First, most free VPNs have data limits. Windscribe, for example, which is one of the better free options out there, caps you at 10 gigabytes per month. That's going to disappear very quickly if you're gaming regularly. Second, free VPNs reserve their fastest and most stable servers for paying customers. The free servers are almost always overcrowded, which means slower speeds and less consistent ping. And third, you don't get to freely choose your server location with most free options, which means you can't apply that server proximity principle I just mentioned. Proton VPN is another free option that gets recommended a lot. And while it has no data limit, which is genuinely impressive for a free VPN, it doesn't let you choose your server location on the free plan, and it has a speed limit that could hold you back during intense gaming. So while it's the most trustworthy free VPN from a privacy standpoint, it's not the best experience for gaming specifically. The honest truth is that if gaming is your main use case, a paid VPN is going to give you a significantly better experience. The free options can work if you need something quick for a one-off gaming session, but you're almost guaranteed to have a worse gaming experience. So let me get into the paid options that actually work well for gaming. All of these are surprisingly affordable if you choose the right plan. NordVPN is the one I personally use and recommend the most for gaming. The reason Nord stands out specifically for gaming comes down to the NordLynx protocol. NordLynx is built on WireGuard, which is currently the fastest tunneling protocol available, and Nord has optimized it further to the point where it's arguably the fastest VPN in the business when you're using that protocol. For gaming, that translates directly into lower ping and more stable connections. Nord has over 7,000 servers across 118 countries, which means no matter where the game server is located, you're going to find a VPN server close to it. And because the server network is so large, overcrowding is rarely an issue. You're not going to be sharing a server with thousands of other users, which keeps your connection clean and consistent. On the security side, Nord also has protection against DDoS attacks built in. If you're into competitive gaming, this is actually a bigger deal than most people realize. DDoS attacks work by flooding your IP address with traffic to knock you offline. When you're connected to NordVPN, attackers can only see the VPN server's IP address, not yours. So even if someone tries to DDoS you, the attack hits the VPN server instead and you stay connected. Nord has another really useful feature called MeshNet, which lets you create a private encrypted network between your own devices or with friends. So if you want to set up a private LAN party style gaming session with people in different locations, you can do that directly through Nord without needing any additional software. One thing worth knowing is that to get the best speeds for gaming, you want to make sure you're using the NordLynx protocol specifically. It's available in the settings, and it makes a noticeable difference compared to the other protocol options. If you're on a budget and you don't mind slightly slower speeds, Surfshark is also a good option. Surfshark is a bit cheaper than Nord, but it still offers solid value. The standout feature for gaming specifically is unlimited simultaneous connections. Unlike Nord's 10 devices, Surfshark lets you connect every device you own under a single subscription. So your gaming PC, your console, your phone, your laptop, all are covered at the same time with no limits. Surfshark also has a really useful feature where you can check the latency of every server before you connect. So instead of guessing which server is going to give you the best ping, you can see the numbers up front and pick accordingly. That's a genuinely useful tool for gaming that saves you a lot of trial and error. The main trade-off with Surfshark is that it's not quite as fast as Nord. In testing, the speed difference is noticeable, especially on longer distance connections. For most casual gaming sessions, it's perfectly fine. But if you're playing competitively and every millisecond matters, NordVPN is going to serve you better. For everyone else who just wants a reliable VPN that covers all their devices without breaking the bank, Surfshark is the best option in that category. Now, regardless of which VPN you go with, there are a couple of things worth doing to get the best gaming performance out of it. First, always use the UDP protocol if it's available. UDP is faster than TCP for gaming because it prioritizes speed over error checking, which is exactly what you want for real-time gameplay. Second, always connect to a VPN server that's geographically close to the game server you're playing on. And third, if you want to find out which server gives you the best results before you start playing, use the latency checker if your VPN has one, or just do a quick ping test after connecting. NordVPN and Surfshark both come with a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. So whichever one you want to try, you can test it out properly during actual gaming sessions before committing to a subscription. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, you get your money back. I put the best discount links to both VPNs in the description below. I hope this helped. Happy gaming!